No, you wouldn't die. I already envisioned it.
Oh. You're like, yeah, it's fine. God's got my back.
I've wrecked 5 times or 6 times, but all of them were asleep. Because I used to, when I was selling, I used to drive everywhere. And I was like, I'm not sleeping until the job's done. So.
Do you
Dope. Live. Another episode. Second one for today for me.
Seriously?
Yeah. Second one. I got, I think, 2 more or 1 more at least. So.
It's a busy day of podcasting.
Busy day. They're also like surprisingly a lot of work. You know what I mean? Like they're draining on both ends. Especially we just got some new equipment. We still need additional equipment, which we've got really good equipment to begin with. But it's gonna make the process on the back end, all the editing and everything like that, make it a little easier. Because there's a fuck ton that goes into.
Yeah. Do they edit on
this.
real time?
I have zero idea. You guys probably hit no lingo better than I do.
I'm
just
not
know
a
there's
huge on podcasts, so I don't know.
There's audio clips, there's video clips, there's merging them, connecting them, lower thirds, just different shit that I have no idea about, but I'm excited to condense it and make this shit, because it's draining. It is draining, but it's probably one of the most fulfilling things that I do right now, because I really love learning people.
Yeah.
So,
how many episodes do you have out?
We've got 25 out, but we've probably got another 25 not released.
Oh, wow.
And we've done that in 2 months, 3 months. Like, we've really just been forcing it down like vegetables. Hard. You know what I mean? Like, it's honestly like, fuck. But, so we got another episode, Varsity Kings. We got special guest, Karsen Marie, right?
Yes. That's my middle name, but yeah.
I'm just going with Karsen Marie. What's the last name?
Felzien.
Felzien.
With a F.
So what nationality are you?
German.
I was gonna say that Nebraska just gives me like a German colony vibe.
Yeah. So I'm German, Canadian, and Irish, and maybe something else. I don't know. I think I'm gonna take a DNA test to find out more.
I would like signed up for one, and then I was like, you know what? Fuck this shit. I know what I'm black and white. I don't know. I like started reading. I was like, this is just taking too much time. I'm not doing this. So dope. So grew up in Nebraska.
Yes.
What part of Nebraska?
Franklin, Nebraska. So it's south central Nebraska. It's like
relatively.
50. It's in the middle of nowhere, like out in the middle of nowhere. I don't know. It's a nice place.
How far from like people that are listening would know, like Lincoln or Omaha?
2.5 hours.
So it's like the
Lincoln.
center of Nebraska.
Yes.
Are there like grizzly bears out there?
No.
No.
No, just like a lot of cornfields. A lot of farmland.
How big was your graduating class?
35, I think. I think it was 35.
Public school?
Yes, public school. We were all in one building, so it was like kindergarten through 12th grade. We were in one building. Like elementary was one wing, middle school was another wing, and then high school.
So, and then football team. Did you guys have like 11s or was it 7s?
I have no idea.
Because I hear some of these football teams, they have like 7s or 8s or like, you know what I mean, where they don't play.
I think
like,
it might be
in a really small town. They play like a smaller version of the game.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
What did your parents do? How'd they meet? What was growing up like for you?
Okay, growing up for me, I had a pretty easy childhood, a pretty easy fun childhood. My parents met. My dad moved to town when he was in 8th grade, and my mom had lived there for a while. She's about 2 years younger than my dad.
Yeah.
They met at the pool, and then they've practically been together ever since.
Yeah.
When they were pretty young, so they were kind of like high school sweethearts, you could say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there were pools. It wasn't like lakes.
Oh, yeah. We have a really nice lake.
Yeah, I was gonna
that's
say,
about
like,
15 miles from our hometown. It's the Harlan County Reservoir. It's pretty big. It's
every time, like in the summer at Lincoln, people will be like, come out and go tube on the river or some lake, and I'd be like,
yes.
I'm not doing none of that shit.
You would probably actually like it. It's actually really fun.
I feel like you get out and you have like a new rash. You know what I mean?
No, I've never gotten one of those.
I'm like, hell, dude. How with these Nebraskans?
No, I've never got that. So growing up, my family, we always had a boat. So we were
Yeah.
always out on the lake every weekend, unless my brother had baseball, which I dreaded those weekends. But
Yeah.
yeah, so we were always out on the lake on our boat doing water sports like skiing, wakeboarding, kneeboarding, tubing,
Yeah.
all that fun stuff. Yeah, it was really good family time. Everybody pretty much just parks their boats in the center of the lake, drinks, and has a good time.
So what did your parents, well, what do they do now? What did they do growing up, like work-wise when you were growing up?
So my mom has had like the same job since I can remember, honestly, ever since I was a little kid. She works for the city of Franklin, so she's the city clerk. She works directly with the mayor.
Wow. Yeah,
Nice.
that's dope.
Yes. And then my dad, he used to be a mechanic, and then he got really sick with pneumonia, so he was more of a body guy, like he painted cars and things like that, but after he got sick, he was like, I need a more practical job, so he works at the hospital and he just does maintenance there.
Dope. Do you have siblings? Brother?
Yes, I have a brother. He's 22.
Oh.
And he is actually the assistant manager at Kearney Country Club.
Okay.
So he does turf management, works on the golf course.
Oh, okay. Golf
Yeah.
is huge in Nebraska.
Yeah, my entire family loves golf. They're all really good at it, and they
suck.
like play in tournaments together, and I'm horrible. I will go up to tee off and probably whiff 3 or 4 times before I even hit the ball.
My last office that I bought in Lincoln, I did the deal on a golf course, and they let me open up on a hole, and after that hole, they made me just keep scoring, just driving the golf cart. That's how bad I am.
That's me too. I'll just ride along and
I just
have a
pretended
couple
to
of
like take
drinks.
calls. They were like, "You want to just?" And I was like, "Yeah, I got calls anyways."
My family would be like, "You can go golfing with us, but you can just hit wherever our ball lands because you're not very good." So
That's how I would be. That's how I am. Like even Top Golf is a struggle for me.
I've never been to Top Golf.
Yeah.
I actually really want to try that.
Like I actually dread going to them because I know that I'm not gonna win, and if like I'm doing something
You
that
hate
I'm,
losing.
yeah, so it's like, yeah, I really don't participate in Top Golf events. You know, I try to avoid those.
I'd try it at least once, and then if I'm terrible, and I'll probably embarrass myself, but
Yeah.
it'll be a good time.
So growing up for you, you know, what were some of the memories that you have stood out that maybe, you know, had a big impression on your life or helped shape and mold your life? Good, bad, funny?
Well, I don't know. I did a lot of fun things when I was a kid. We kind of traveled around a little bit. We would always go to Colorado about every year to go snow skiing with my family. So that was always really fun.
Is there like a mountain resort in Nebraska?
No, we have to go to Colorado.
Okay, you said Colorado.
Yes. Yeah.
There's no mountains probably in Nebraska.
No, none. You've been to Nebraska.
Yeah,
What
but
are
I
we
was just
talking
like,
about?
yeah, maybe there's a mountain hiding somewhere in this state.
No, you either have to go. I think you can go in Wyoming, but we prefer to go to Colorado.
Yeah.
Yeah, Breckenridge, Beaver Creek, Vale, Keystone. Keystone has night skiing.
Yeah.
So
So
have you
some
ever
of
been skiing?
I went snowboarding like once.
Oh, I want to try snowboarding.
Yeah, it was a horrible experience. I just kept falling. I was pissed the whole time, cold, pissed.
There was this
Wet,
one time when
food
we
sucked.
were on a one of our trips, and I hadn't fallen the entire trip. We were there for probably like a week. I hadn't fallen the whole time, and then we're on the last run of the day, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna be cool and do a jump over this little like ramp. Completely biffed it. Like the tips of my skis went into the ground, and I just like slid on the
Hell,
snow,
yeah.
and snow went all down my like jacket. It was terrible.
Yeah.
My family
no.
just went by me real quick, and they were just laughing, like didn't even stop.
Yeah, hell no. So, what about like? I feel like everybody's got a memory of like, you know, when you got into a lot of trouble growing up. What was like one of those moments where it's like, damn, I just got into a lot of trouble.
I wasn't really that big of a troublemaker when I was a
everybody
little
got into
kid.
some trouble though.
I mean, I guess if you want to know, I did get in trouble when I was 15. I was a freshman. I was hanging out with some of the seniors, and we got caught drinking. So
Damn, horrible.
Yeah, we thought we were safe out in the country, but the state patrol can go anywhere. So.
Damn.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
my
state
parents were a
patrol
little
came
bit
out.
disappointed, so they made me go tell my coaches and the school
So what all
and my
sports did you play?
grandparents. I just played volleyball.
Okay.
They wanted me to do basketball, but I'm not.
Yeah.
No,
Didn't get into it.
no. And they wanted me to do track too, but I don't like running, so.
Yeah. I only like doing any type of physical exertion when it comes to like energy at the gym. Other than
Yeah.
that, I wish I could just roll everywhere or get a wheelchair. Like, I'm really fucking lazy.
Yeah, I see you parking the handicap spot outside.
Yeah. Yeah, that's still like that.
Why?
Well, because I was like, you know what? They already saw it.
The people who left you a note the other
Yeah.
day?
You know what I mean? So I'm like, you know, it's like getting like, if you like, someone like saw you naked, it's like, you already saw me naked, I'm just going to stay naked.
Honestly.
Yeah, so I'm like, it's already there. But, so you played volleyball.
Mm-hmm.
You graduate high school.
Mm-hmm. In 2015.
2015, you graduated high school.
Yes.
And then where'd you go from there?
I actually went to a community college in Beatrice, Nebraska. Not the best town. I mean, it wasn't really a great fit for me, but I didn't know what I wanted to do. I honestly didn't even want to go to school, but I didn't know what else to do. It was kind of like oh, you have to go to school to get out of your hometown. So that's what I did. I just followed kind of what the normal thing to do is to go to college after you graduate. I went for about 2 years. I didn't graduate. I decided just to take some gen ed classes, and then I started studying dental assisting, and I absolutely hated it. Got like super depressed, wasn't liking it, and then I just came to the realization one day that if I don't like studying this and I don't like going to school for this, I'm gonna hate my life if I graduate with this degree.
Yeah.
So it was like mid-semester, like the second semester, and during the middle, I just went to the school, went to the financial aid office, and was like, look, I'm not taking out any more student loans for next semester. I'm done. And they were like, okay, sign here. So signed, and then I found a couple jobs in the industries that I was interested in, and then just kind of worked my way up from there.
And so what jobs did you secure then?
So at first, I love fashion. So at first I started working at the mall. I worked at American Eagle for...
There's a mall in Nebraska?
Gateway Mall in Lincoln.
That's not
You've
a mall.
been there.
That's not a mall.
It's a little tiny mall, but for Lincoln, it works.
No.
It's not like the malls here, okay?
Yeah, dude, the malls, I mean, like, when I got here, that was one thing. I was like, all right, thank God there's a Louis Vuitton store. It was the first place I was like, I went there, I
Gotta
felt
get
like,
that
got like a
bag.
breath of fresh air. I was like, back to real life.
Need those designer stores.
You don't like them?
No, I like them.
Oh, okay.
I'm just not going to spend that much on anything right now.
Dude, some of the shit in
Gonna
there
be
is,
practical with my money.
well, dude, some of the shit in there is like nuts. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, fuck it, I don't care, 4 bands. You know what I mean? But then like some of the shit, it's like, and then I'm like, damn, like this chair is $75,000, and it's like, I'm like,
Is it worth it?
some
Just
people
for
it
the
is.
logo. It's
Some
just for
yeah,
the logo.
I'm the same. I'm the same as you. I could give a fuck less, but at the same time, I'm like, the power that some of these individuals have out there, I think that's nuts.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you get into working at the mall.
Yes. And then, so that was just like a part-time job. I was also a lifeguard, so I taught swimming lessons at the YMCA to little kids. And that was pretty fun, but I just did that in my free time, basically. Yeah. And then I started working in hospitality. So I worked at the Hyatt Place in the Haymarket in Lincoln.
So were you how did you move to Lincoln?
Yes, sorry. Yes. So from Beatrice, I lived there for like a year, and then I moved to Lincoln. Got some roommates. Started going to SEC in Lincoln.
Okay.
Yes. And then after I dropped out, I started working at the mall and then working at the Hyatt Place. And actually, while I was working at the Hyatt Place, some of the executives from Executive Travel were staying there. And they would come down to the bar and talk to me and hang out. And I actually picked them up from the airport. And when I picked them up, they were like, "We love you. Like, you should come work for our company." And I was like, "Well, what do you do? Like, tell me more about it." Because at this point, I was just working, minimum wage jobs, paying my rent, just trying to figure out what I wanted to do. So they told me, it's a travel agency in town. You should really come work with us. And so I went and met the boss and got hired and started working there like the next week. I did admin at first and then moved up to marketing. So that's kind of where I started doing more marketing and things like that.
And then where did that all lead to?
So I was with Executive Travel doing marketing for about 2 years. And I just decided that I want to be in charge of my own time. I want freedom. I want to be in control of what I design and what I put out there. So my business partner, Quentin Sotoff, and I decided to start a company that's a digital agency. So we do marketing. We design websites, manage businesses' social medias, provide consulting. We do content creation, whether that's like video or just like imagery for their social media accounts or website.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just wanted the freedom.
When
honestly.
did you guys start that company? Was it 2020?
In May of 2020, yes. So in May of 2020 we started, and then I put my 2 weeks in at my other job January 1st of 2021.
So how many clients do you guys rotate monthly now?
Monthly, I would say 6 to 10, depending on what they need. Some of them are on retainers, some of them aren't.
Yeah. That's huge, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and we have, so I would say about 6 to 10 are on retainer.
And now have you expanded to more, like, maybe subcontracts or additional staff? Like, are there other employees outside of you two?
It's just us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's huge. It's still huge.
It's really busy. Yeah, I feel like every day is a business day, but
yeah,
that's okay.
Yeah, it has to be if you're an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's never a break.
Your bills are 100%.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So you can't let up. You can't relent. Because them bitches gonna come.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. So what, I guess with the creation of your company, the digital agency, like what all of the details look like when it comes to like the consulting and the website building? Like what are you most passionate about? What do those details break down to and look like?
I would say we're most passionate about just helping people be like authentically who they are online and helping them build their presence. Like we want to create like a very aesthetically pleasing website that their customers are going to want to stay on. Like we want to build a website that people look at and they're on for like 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
A lot of the times our clients, before we redesign for them, they have a website that loads really slow or it just isn't aesthetically pleasing. It looks old, like nothing is aligned. And
what do you guys use for like editing your websites?
We use a new platform called Webflow.
Yeah.
It codes in the background.
So you guys don't have to do the coding?
Mm-hmm.
You do or you don't?
We don't.
Okay.
You visually design it and then it codes it in the background for you. And the code is so clean that Google can crawl the site and get your SEO running up a lot faster than
what's
a
an
WordPress
SEO?
site. SEO is search engine optimization. Like when you go to Google somebody.
Like how likely it is to show up?
Yep.
So like how do you get so the cleaner your website, the more likely the SEO?
Yes, the cleaner the code, the better the SEO.
It isn't like, wouldn't the SEO be based off of like what's most popular? Like I feel like Joe Rogan's really popular right now, so like his SEO is going to be higher even if my code was more clearer.
It just depends, because if people are paying for advertising as well on Google, then theirs is going to be at the top of the page regardless of what you search.
Now when you're paying for advertising, because a lot of people ask me about like, you know, what do I use for media and things like that. And I have to
Mm-hmm.
explain to them that I pay a media company to do, um, you know, the editing, content creation, and
Mm-hmm.
website man, like everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they not the ad doll. That's separate. You know what I mean? Because they're like, oh, that's not that bad, and it's like $4,000 or $5,000 a month, and I'm like, yeah, it's probably not that fucking bad, you motherfucker. But it's like, then I'm putting another 4 or 5 thousand into ads.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So I think people
Mm-hmm.
undervalue, or they don't, you know, segregate the two of realization of like, it's one thing to create the content, have the website, and the other things like that, but then it's a
Mm-hmm.
whole other, and like that's a baby, like I would say that's a baby amount in comparison to like what I would realistically like to do. Like I would love to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars monthly in just the social media realm. You know what I mean? When I
Yeah.
look at individuals like Grant Cardone and people like that, it's like I know they're dumping hundreds of thousands of dollars
Oh yeah.
monthly, and
Mm-hmm.
I know that's what it takes to scale up to getting verified, because all that shit can be bought. Like I just put an article out,
Yeah.
and that just took me throwing around $1,000. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Persuading. There's PR things like that. I forget exactly what it does, but like you can get into Forbes. You know, I know people now like where you can get into Forbes for 10, 15 grand. You know what I mean? With like
Hmm.
minimal credibility. You just
Interesting.
throw around some money. So it's like people don't realize like the power of the dollar that's needed to generate what you want. Like people are like, you know, they'll ask like, you know, should they work with a company that I use for media? I'm like, yeah, but don't come here thinking you're going to spend a couple dollars and get millions of dollars of content. And it's like I feel like I'm asking for more than what I'm paying for right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I feel like if people aren't capitalizing on social media and like
They're
utilizing
not
companies, yeah,
growing.
they're not growing,
Yeah.
and they don't realize like they should watch the movie Ready Player One, or
Never seen that.
it's kind of like, you know, like what did Facebook just convert into, the metaverse, where like
Yep.
everything's kind of like this virtual world,
Virtual
the virtual
reality.
reality. That's essentially what Ready Player One is. It's like the
Oh.
world like evolves, like it's like set in like 2050, 2070 or something like that, where it's
Hmm.
like everybody operates through virtual reality. There's no more space and shit like that in the world. Like everything's just,
That is actually kind of
but
cool.
it's like if you're not capitalizing on like social media and shit like that, I feel like your business, your life, your brand, it's all like the level of success is going to determine like what's your level of success to an extent on social media and your
Mm-hmm.
marketing, and like what do people know you by. And so it's like
Mm-hmm.
people should take every dollar they have and they should find people like you guys. They should find credible media companies and they should go all in. That's my advice. I always tell people, it's like everything that I've done that's had exponential return on investment, like fast, because I don't believe in money overnight.
Yeah.
But anytime I've had it way faster, it's typically been through some type of social media connection.
Mm-hmm.
Like the best people I've brought into my business has always been through social media.
I mean, that's how we got connected too.
Yeah. So when we met fall 2020,
Yeah, I think so.
because you were just a few months in
Yeah,
to your
yeah.
business.
And I was still working my other job too, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so fall of 2020, we met at Capitol, yeah.
Okay. So we met at Capitol. We didn't meet through
Yes.
social media.
Well, yeah, we met through social media, but in person,
Okay.
we
Yeah.
met at
Yeah. Then we met at
Capitol.
Capitol.
Yeah.
And so I guess my next question would be like, what's your favorite project you guys or you've done so far?
My favorite project we've done so far. Well, it's kind of hard to choose what my favorite project is right now. I would say my favorite website that we've worked on so far in creating like social media content is for Layton's at the Lake. It's one of our clients. Um, their brand is just amazing. The colors, the aesthetic of it, their values. It's another cigar. It's a cigar brand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's it at?
Lake of the Ozarks.
Where's that?
It's in Missouri, I think. Yeah, Missouri.
So have you guys gone down there and like physically visited?
They're actually an up and coming brand, and their grand opening is in March.
Oh,
So
wow.
we're super excited. So in a couple weeks, we'll be going over there for their grand opening. I'm really excited about it.
Yeah.
You probably know the owner as well.
Who's the owner?
Brylan Brown. He used to work at Capitol.
Yeah. Sounds really familiar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sounds really familiar.
He's pretty close with Montreal, too.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, and as Montreal, are they still in the media world as well?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dope. Do you guys ever like subcontract and like link up and do work like that?
Sometimes, actually, some of our clients will like, since we're not in Lincoln anymore, some of our clients will use other people to take photos or record content, and then they'll send it to us, and then we do the editing and get it posted.
Now, are you guys able to like edit like videos and stuff like we were talking about when we first opened up?
Edit in real time?
I don't know, like
I have never edited in real time necessarily.
like the videos and like editing all this.
Oh.
Do you guys do that? Like if you were like, hey, here's these files, edit it.
Yeah, I have done that before. Yes.
So like with your guys' packages and things like that,
Mm-hmm.
is that something you guys incorporate? Like you're like, hey, look, we can do like, because that was one of the things that really sold me on this. Is the guy was like, we could set you up a podcast. It was like, all right, cool. That was probably the biggest thing. It was like podcast. This dude, he's my first podcast episode. I had him come out. He designed the room, put the room together, and he's 2 years out of jail, and like his media company does, I think 2-3 mil, but he's got like 40-50 people. Great dude, funny dude. I mean, not always the most organized Peter, but but definitely like just the different things I see like with media companies. I always fuck with them. I'm like, dude, seeing your media company makes me want to just like start buying media companies or like create one.
Just create one and then
just
sell it.
Have them copy his mom. Like, I like send them a text and be like, hey, great idea. I just created this media company that's gonna copy all your shit. I'm not gonna need you anymore, but thank you for everything.
I would be pissed. Like, get out.
I always fuck with them. We were on the highway. We were driving one, me and my buddy, and I got out of the car, and I was standing on the top.
Why?
I love adrenaline. So I'm standing on the windowsill, actually, and we're on the highway, and he's like, there's police, and I like get scared.
You were driving?
Yeah, on the highway. So it was like ultimate thrill.
That's kind of psycho.
Yeah, a little
bit.
Yeah, a little bit. But
your friend was driving, or you were driving and you just like got on the window?
No, I've done that too.
Yeah, I saw that on your TikTok a couple months ago, I think.
Yes.
You just got in the back seat as the truck is like going down the road.
Yeah.
Are you trying to die?
No, you wouldn't die. I already envisioned it.
Oh. You're like, yeah, it's fine. God's got my back.
I've wrecked 5 times or 6 times, but all of them were asleep. Because when I was selling, I used to drive everywhere, and I was like, I'm not sleeping until the job's done. So.
Do you drink caffeine, or like how do you stay
very
up
minimally, and once you're up for so long, nothing can keep you up. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like I've tried everything, nothing's gonna like. Once you hit that certain breaking point, nothing is gonna keep you up. You are just out.
So then how long do you pass out for after?
It's usually a couple minutes before I wreck, but sometimes I remember like just driving home and not knowing how I got home.
Oh, yeah, that happens to me all the time.
Yeah, I'm like,
I just like completely space out, and I'm like,
yeah, but I was
I don't
asleep.
know how I got here.
No, yeah, no, I'm like the whole way like this. That's why I refuse to pretty much drive over like 10 minutes. If something's over 10 minutes, I really care about it. Really, I really fucking care. Like I'll drive to jiu-jitsu right now, and it's 30 minutes away, and that's once a week to go get choked out by like little girls, old men, fat dudes.
You wrestle people that aren't even your size, like they don't pair you up to somebody.
So jiu-jitsu is kind of like every man for himself, but at the same time, like I don't deliberately like be like, oh, a girl, let me go roll with a girl.
Yeah.
But like there are some girls that are fucking monsters that will just like every single one of us, one girl, like a really soft, one of my coaches, his wife, she's like a step below from being a black belt. She's insane. Like, I've never, like, despite me being stronger, like, doesn't matter, just manhandles me.
Wow.
It would be like, you know what I mean? Like, I post all, like...
So you get your ass kicked by a girl?
Oh, absolutely. Like, no shame in it.
At least you can admit it.
I have no shame in it. But the thing is because I know that, like, there's a lot of people I would fuck up. So I'm like, if she's fucking me up, she's fucking all you guys up. So that's where I'm like, I don't give a fuck. You guys will get tapped out by her.
You're like, I'm not the first one. It's
yeah.
fine.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. Absolutely. Because jiu-jitsu is like a long-term game. Like, it's just something where it'd be like somebody coming into your guys' business with no experience trying to tell you guys what to do. You know what I mean? Like, you would fuck them up. Like, you'd be like, nah, you don't know how to do this, that, you know what I mean? It's like,
yeah.
Maybe not even like pridefully or arrogantly, but it'd be like me trying to tell Aiden how to edit some shit. You know what I mean? I would have zero idea what the hell I was talking about. You know what I mean? He's been doing this for years. Mm-hmm. So jiu-jitsu, it's like, it doesn't discriminate. You know what I mean? Like, you could be there. I mean, I've had issues with like kids. You know what I mean? Like teenagers. You would be surprised. You'd be surprised when this little kid throws you in some heel hook or something. Your knee's about to explode, and you're like, "You got me, bro." You don't. I know you're about to go and play with some Legos, but I'm trying to keep my knees, dude.
Oh my god, that just sounds dangerous.
Oh, it is.
Honestly.
That's what these. I don't know if you can see like the little scars right there. So I had surgery last month, and that was from my meniscus exploding from a straight ankle lock. So I got put into a leg lock and just didn't tap in time, and it literally went and it exploded. It literally exploded. And I let it go for a year. I did stem cell, PRP, ozone, knees over toes. That's a great program if anybody, struggles with any knee, issues, anything like that. I recommend checking them out on Instagram.
My right knee's messed up too.
Oh, it's great. I still do it. It's like walking backwards, like toe lifts, shit like that. It's like, it sounds like stupid, but doing it day in and day out, it helps a lot.
It sucks like right after a surgery and you can't like just run or you can't walk.
I walked out. Somebody told me they like walked the next day, and I don't like if someone tells me something, I naturally just like make it a competition. So it was like, this guy was like, yeah, I had meniscus surgery, and the next day, like, he was like, the day after, I started to hobble a little bit, and I was like, I'm gonna make sure I walk out this, I'm not letting this other dude, be able to say that shit in front of me. So I had to make sure, like, I hobbled out same day, and then I went to the gym the next day. It was mainly just to make sure, you know what I mean? Like, I for sure, like, won that, even though it probably wasn't a competition.
After my knee surgery, like, 10 years ago?
And probably, I didn't take any pain meds.
They made me get wheeled out in a wheelchair.
Yeah, it was a lot. They gave me the oxys. I said, fuck no. Didn't take those. I don't want to get
hooked on that shit.
Well, I don't get addicted to anything. So I've taken painkillers, never had an issue. You know what I mean? So I was like, I don't give a fuck. Never, like, the only addictions I've ever had is food. It's like, food will do something to me. Where, like, sugar has been the hardest thing this last 4 months of, like, being on a diet has been weird for me. I mean, I feel the best I've ever felt, look the best I've ever looked, but definitely that's been the hardest mental battle for me is
I honestly have terrible self-discipline when it comes to food.
Yeah, everything else I'm cool. I could care less.
Yeah,
everything
I'm
else
like,
I'm cool.
I don't need it, but then someone's like, oh, do you want to get tacos?
Oh, like, hell yeah. There was one taco place in Lincoln that I always used to get. Always.
Where was it at? Do you remember?
Just right there in Lincoln.
Oh my God.
I have no idea. I honestly, there was a few places I really loved. There was JTK's, I think.
That's good.
Love JTK's. There was this other like French place that had duck confit. The people I know, they would the people here, they would know I would take them there. Like every other night I would take someone to whoever the top producer was, I would take them out to dinner. And towards the end, I was going there every day, once a day at least, was Hopcat.
Oh, I love Hopcat.
I was going to Hopcat every day though. There was it that Nashville fried chicken sandwich with the bacon mac and cheese, and then they had like this Reese's pie, and I'll get a lemonade, and it was fire. Absolute fire. Was insane.
That sounds really good.
It was insane. So that was my fave. What are your passions outside of everything we spoke on? Like, what are you real passionate about? Like me, it's movies. That's it. Work, movies, workout.
Oh. I would say I'm passionate about like people and just helping other people. I love beauty, so I love like doing makeup and like different fun makeup looks and things like that. Fashion, I already touched on that. Kids, I love little kids.
I hate kids.
You do?
Bad. Like when I think about when I have kids, I'm like, I don't like want them until they're like out of their crying phase.
Yeah.
Like when they're like 13 or 14. Like I
That's
think
like
about
when
it.
kids get worse. I remember myself when I was 13 or 14. I was horrible.
Yeah, but like when I can start to like, like push them like hard. Start to make them like warriors.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant you were just like, yeah, I'm just gonna push them real hard and just shove the kid over.
Yes. That too.
Yeah, just spending time with family and friends, I would say. That was
Family
funny.
and friends?
Family and friends, just being outdoors.
Hunting?
That's why I hate winter. I don't really hunt. I mean, I like shooting guns. I'm a really good shot.
Yeah.
So but I don't hunt any animals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't wait to like my vision is like have like a ranch in Texas, and I just want to live off the land.
Really?
Yep.
Just disconnect and just.
Well, no, not disconnect. I
okay.
don't want to eat the shit from like you know what I mean. Especially with as hard as they've pushed this vaccine.
Yeah.
I'm like done trusting. You know what I mean? Like just being supplied things. I want to just create my own. Just who knows what's in what. So that's kind of like my vision on that. What about favorite movies? I always ask everybody what their favorite movie is.
Favorite movies? I don't even know if I have a favorite.
Some people don't. They're like so ADHD or like don't sit down. They're like,
my ADHD is so bad sometimes.
Yeah, there's like some people are like, I don't. Maybe like a favorite.
I can
TV.
watch a movie, but
what about a favorite TV show? If you don't have a favorite movie.
Well, one of my favorite TV shows that I recently watched is
Euphoria.
No, I haven't seen that.
Okay.
I need to watch that.
I feel like everybody's been saying Euphoria.
I know. I've been seeing it all over TikTok lately.
Right? We're like Euphoria.
I'm like, I should probably watch this. I just feel like I don't have a lot of time to like just sit down and watch TV.
Yeah, no.
Like there was a time like when we were building a couple of different businesses, like even when I was still in college, we didn't have TV.
No, there is
like
no
we
time.
would watch YouTube and that was it.
Yeah.
Like we would never have TV on, like music, podcasts, YouTube. That's it. Like there was like 3 years that I didn't
when you're
even
in those
watch
initial
TV.
phases, if you've got time, you're not really working, right?
Mhm. Yeah, but I would have to say something that I watched recently that I liked is Dynasty on Netflix.
What's that about?
It's about this family. Like this really rich family, and they have like a couple of different businesses, and the daughter like goes off and does her own business and starts competing with the dad, and then there's like some mystery and crime in it too.
Damn, sounds like what was that one show where they're out in the like that they had their ranch or something like that, everybody was talking about it.
I don't know,
dude, I forget what it was, where they had the ranch.
There is a show.
Yeah, Yellowstone.
Oh yeah, Yellowstone.
Sounds
Everybody
like
keeps
that.
telling me to watch that.
It was pretty good. I didn't watch the recent season.
Yeah, I haven't. I mean, I haven't really watched it all. Maybe like a couple little short clips, but I haven't watched it much.
What is your favorite book?
Ooh, my favorite book. I would have to say The Entrepreneur by Darren Hardy. That's just one of my favorite ones that I've read so far.
Yeah.
Just kind of talking about like how it is being an entrepreneur and everything, and lessons and how to work through it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your favorite book?
Think and Grow Rich, The Secret, probably the Bible, which is real cliche.
Yeah.
You know, but there's definitely verses in there that I really resonate with and certain things like that.
Huh.
So I'd say
Think
that's
and
the
Grow
top 3
Rich.
for me.
Who wrote that?
Napoleon Hill. Phenomenal book, life changer.
I'll have to order that.
Absolutely, have you run through a wall. It would be like eye opening. It would be like steroids to the brain.
Damn.
Yes. So, food, favorite restaurant. What's your favorite place to eat?
My favorite place to eat. I feel like it's so hard to pick favorites. Like, I feel bad just picking a favorite, like singling one out. But I don't know.
In my mind, I'm like, Nebraska, I probably shouldn't even ask that. You know what I mean? You're probably like
there's not a lot
hunters
of, like,
and gatherers. You know what I mean? Like, everything's just...
Yeah, we go out in the country and find our dinner every night.
Yeah, just prepare supper, ring a bell, bunch of family just all runs in. Just a huge, long table.
I feel like people on the coast actually think that, like, that's how people live in Nebraska.
That is people listening. That is how they live. I was out there.
You weren't even, like, out there.
They have family villages.
You would not know what to do in our small town. Like, what is
I grew up in the country.
What?
Yeah, in Little Rock, Arkansas. I grew up on a farm.
Oh.
Yeah, we raised Tennessee Walkers. So I grew up showing horses.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I did not know that about you. That's cool.
Yep. Kind of cool.
So why did you move to Nebraska anyways, and then now Chicago?
So when you have opportunity to open an office in a franchise company, you don't get to pick the location. They pick the location because it's franchised.
Yeah.
So you say yes or no.
Okay.
So
is Arkansas
that's where I was
similar to Nebraska or no?
Yeah, just hotter.
Oh.
And then probably more like in the city, I would say more expanded. In my mind, it seems like more diversification. Absolutely, probably way more diversification. Just because population is just naturally going to cause that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. What's the hardest adversity you've had to overcome in your life?
I would say, so growing up and going to school, I started getting tested a lot because the teachers could tell that I had ADHD. I thought I was normal, but I kind of struggled through school. None of it interested me. I didn't want to do any of my homework. I didn't care. I just wanted to draw and do art. So I really wouldn't, like, pay attention in school or any of that because I just didn't care. And as I got older, my parents were like, Karsen, you have to get it together. Like, you have to actually pay attention and do your homework. Like, you have to graduate. And I did, and it was fine, but through the whole process, like, people would bully me just because I had ADHD. They were like, you're stupid. You don't understand anything. It's like, I'm not stupid. I just don't care about any of this school stuff. Like, I don't care about history. I don't care about math. Not really big on science. Like, I just want to hang out in art class, vibe out, listen to some music, create some dope shit. And that's it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would just say I got bullied a lot by, like, a lot of the kids in our class and some of the older kids just because I was different, I guess.
Yeah.
So that's some adversity that I've went through.
So I guess really to wrap everything up, you know, what else is there anything else on your mind or that you want to share about you, the world, what you do?
Well, I'm here to help anybody, like whether you're a current business owner or looking to start a business, reach out to me because we have all the tools that you need to get started.
Where can they reach out to you?
Our website, caspiancreates.com. Or you can find me on Instagram too. TikTok.
What would be easiest?
Probably our website.
And that's CaspianCreates.com.
Yes.
How do they spell the Caspian? I feel like
It's Caspian creates.
Where'd you come up with the Caspian Creates?
Actually, my business partner came up with it. He was just doing some research, and he found the name, and he was like, I really like this. And it represents one of the largest inland bodies of water. And before we had picked this name...
Caspian does?
Yes. And before we had, like, settled on that name, we were working with a different name. Well, that name got taken from us. We had, like, all the branding done. We were getting ready to, like, submit our files. And then, boom, somebody else had taken the name. So, anyways, the Caspian Sea represents the largest inland body of water. And we compare that to, like, picking a name for your business is also one of the biggest decisions that you have to make as a business owner, because it represents, like, who you are and what you do and just how you want to be represented overall. So he came up with Caspian, and I was like, we should do, like, double letters CC. Like, we should do Caspian Creates because we're a creative agency, and it just makes sense.
Yeah.
And then that's what we decided to go with.
Dope. So you guys can find them at CaspianCreates.com.
Yes.
Dope. Well, another podcast episode knocked out. It was a pleasure having you, Karsen. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you for having me.
Let's go. Peace out.